Before we get started with tonight's show, I gotta thank last week's awesome super chatters and beautiful channel members, I may add, Movie Time Minute and the Cosmic Broadcast. Both of these guys are amazing and produce awesome content. The Cosmic Broadcast, you're gonna find your host Jonah over there. He talks about mainly Star Wars, a little bit of Sonic the Hedgehog in there, Marvel, DC, all those beautiful, geeky, nerdy topics you're gonna find on Jonah's channel. Definitely check him out down in the link in the description below. He's an amazing guy, you won't be disappointed. And fantastic editing skills, I might add. Next up, we got DJ at the Movie Time Minute. If you clicked on a live stream this week, you've probably already seen DJ. He's been all over the place. He's killing it over on his channel right now. He's got movie news on a live show that he's doing every Sunday. He's got movie reviews, Does It Hold Up reviews, where he looks at older movies. The content is not lacking on DJ's channel. If you head over there, down in the link in the description below, you're gonna find something that you like from both of these amazing guys. Once again, guys, thank you so much for your generosity and all of your love and support towards the channel. It really goes a long way. It helps me to keep doing what I'm doing, to do this show every week. I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you so much. Tonight on Zach Milne Talks Live, iCarly on Paramount Plus has been canceled. I'm kidding. I'm not going to be that guy. I have some thoughts on the show and we'll discuss it all coming up real soon. Ahsoka just finished its first season on Disney Plus. All 8 episodes are now airing. I've watched all of them. I've never watched Rebels, so what did I think of Ahsoka? We'll talk about that as well. The Creator is a new original sci-fi film now playing in theaters by Gareth Edwards, and it also happens to be bombing at the theaters as we speak. And lastly, I know it comes out tomorrow, but I thought we'd get excited together and talk about these Loki Season 2 first reactions. All this and more tonight on Zach Milne Talks Live. Let's get started. Everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. Welcome for the first time, as always, to Zach Milne Talks Live. Very excited to have you guys here. Very excited for tonight. Should be a fun one. If you're new here, guess what, guys? We also got a podcast. So if you've missed some shows and you can't sit in front of a YouTube video all day long, well, we got a podcast for you to check out. The links are in the description below for that. All episodes of Zach Milne Talks Live are up there now that you can listen to, as well as Members Talk Live, our Members Live show that we do every Saturday for our channel members. You want to come on the show, you want to discuss some topics, become a channel member. The link and information to that is all down below as well. I'm looking forward to talking with you guys tonight, so I'm not even going to waste any time, really. I just want to get into the chat. Let's just get into the chat before we get into our main topics tonight, and let's see what you guys are saying. We got a Toxic Gamer in here. Well, hello, Toxic Gamer. Thank you for joining us as always, my friend. Hello, Zach. Sorry, but I won't be able to join the stream today. Oh, okay. That's fine, man. Because I'm at Halloween Horror Nights as we speak. But I bet it was another great stream. See you on the next one. Well, dude, I hope you enjoy Halloween Horror Nights. You could not find me there. I mean, maybe if you paid me, I would go. But I would not go willingly. So I hope you have a fun time, man. I hope it's going great for you. 80s kid from the 90s, what's going on? 80s kid from the 90s, I'm so happy to see you in here, man. Ahsoka was awesome. Sorry, everyone, I'm just really excited. We got an amazing finale. What a show. Well, man, dude, I'm so glad that it worked that well for you. I'm so glad that you are so happy with the show. We're going to give my full-on spoiler thoughts for the show in just a little bit, but for now, I just want to celebrate with you, man. You got a show that you loved, and that's awesome. You also go on to say that you have 192 subscribers now. That's awesome, man. Guys, can we get him to 200? Click on 80s Kid from the 90s name. Head on over to his channel. Let's see if we can get him 8 more by the end of the night. Let's see if we can hit that 200 for him. But 192, man, that's very exciting. Very, very huge congratulations to you, man. That's awesome. Dark Movies, one of our beloved channel members. What's going on, man? What's up, everybody? Well, what's up, Dark? Thanks for joining us at, what is it, like the crack of dawn where you are, man? The time zone difference is like 9 hours or something. So thank you for being here, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Read Comics, what's going on, Read Comics? Thank you for joining us. Hey, I have an Ahsoka review, and I might do a live stream next week. That's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to checking out your Ahsoka review. I will check that out probably when I have time tomorrow. But yeah, live stream. I would love to watch a live stream of yours, man. I'm all for it, so do it. The Oberthorian Alliance from Two Perspectives. Oh, first try, guys. First try. You guys see that? That is what we call a character arc. No, it's not. The Oberthorian Alliance from two perspectives. For me, it is the most disappointing show of the year because they had so much going for it and they dropped the ball. And why do they need to get every character? Why does every character have to be a Force user? Well, man, you're not alone. I've seen a lot of mixed reactions to Ahsoka online. I've seen a lot of people loving it. I've seen a lot of people disappointed by it. See people that think it's the best thing ever. Seeing people who think that it just let them down, dropped the ball, like you're saying here. What did I think of it? Honestly, I thought it was fine. I thought it was for a finale to a season 1. It felt like people have been complaining about the finale that it just kind of like left off on a cliffhanger and it didn't go anywhere. That's what seasons it's not uncommon for seasons to end on a cliffhanger. So it didn't bother me that much, to be honest with you, but we'll talk about it a lot more while we're in the show. 80s from the 90s. We're live. That's right, buddy. Anything can happen. Anything can at any moment. You don't know what's going to happen right now, dude. It's being written as we speak. Didn't know I was going to do that. Neither did I. Huh? It's live. It's going to be a night. I can already feel it. Read comics. Zach, would you ever make a video about iconic movies you surprisingly haven't seen or surprisingly don't like? Maybe. I've never thought about it. There's definitely a lot. Like, I've never seen RoboCop. I've never seen The Godfather. I've never seen Heat. I've never seen... what's another iconic movie? There's a bunch of iconic movies, man. So many movies, so little time. That's what I like to say. Whenever someone says, you haven't seen that, that's my response. And I implore you guys to adopt it as your response too. So many movies, so little time, man. I mean, 8 hours of my day is filled up by work. Then I come home. You probably got maybe 45 minutes to an hour is catching up with my wife about her day and eating dinner and watching some shows together. And then you got chores mixed in there. And then you got there's so much stuff that fills the day. I don't know why I went on that rant right now, but yes, there's definitely a lot of iconic movies that I haven't seen that I could definitely make a video about. So that's a good suggestion, man. I appreciate that. The View with Drew. What's going on, Drew? Thanks for joining us tonight. Hey, everyone. What's up? Doing pretty well. Drew, how are you doing, man? You are in everybody's live stream, and I speak for everybody when I say we appreciate you, man. Read comics. Are you a fan of neo-noir movies? Honestly, I can't think off the top of my head. I know noir movies are like black and white and kind of like detective-y, but I can't really think off the top of my head of what that... Maybe. I could be. That's my answer. I could be. Daily Reacts TV. What's going on, Daily Reacts TV? Thanks for joining us tonight. Hey, how are you doing today? I can't stay for long because I'm going to record videos for my gaming channel. No problem, man. I appreciate you even just giving me a little bit of your time tonight. You thought, before I go and make my videos, I'm going to check in and see what Zach and all these goofballs are up to. And we appreciate it, man. We love having you a part of our community, and I love having you here for as long as you can be here, man. I'm so grateful for every single second that you've spent with me. If you guys can hear barking, that's my dog just outside the door. She's adorable, but kind of annoying. 80s Kid from the 90s. Zach, my answers video is up. Make sure to leave a question. I will do so. I will check that out, man. Old Maddie, what's going on, Old Maddie? Thanks for joining us. Love this channel. Have a good one, you guys. Well, thank you for just dropping in here, man, and saying those kind words. We appreciate it. 80s Kid from the 90s got a haircut yesterday. That's awesome, man. I love a good haircut. You know, my hair always goes to a point. I don't get haircuts when I should get haircuts. I get haircuts when my hair starts to annoy me or just look bad. And then I'm like, okay, now I need a haircut. I never catch it, though. Michael Entity, what's going on, Michael? Thanks for joining us. Hey, what's up, Zach? Hope life is going great for you. Well, likewise to you, my friend. Likewise to you. And life's going pretty well. It's going pretty good. 80s Kid from the 90s says they never should have brought back iCarly. See, now I'm going to talk about iCarly coming up here really quickly. I definitely have thoughts about iCarly. As if you guys have been watching me for a little bit, you guys know I have thoughts about iCarly. Do I think they never should have brought it back? I disagree. I think bringing back iCarly for this day and age could have been a brilliant decision. What they ended up doing with it, that's a whole other thing. Michael Entity. Hey, what's up, Zach? I think did you already write that in, man? Well, what's up, Michael Entity? Thanks for joining us, man. Hey, what's up, Zach? I'm putting this comment up again. Oh, okay, because the spell autocorrect messed up. Fair enough, man. But I hope everything is going great for you. Look forward to the teaser trailer for my new film. Ooh, that's exciting. You're going to drop your teaser trailer soon? I'm looking forward to that. Dark Movie says, yo, updated some graphics and intros. That's cool. I mean, I think I've had this layout and this intro for a little bit now. I think we've done it for about 10 shows 10 shows now, so maybe you've just never been here for the start of that dark movies, but thank you, I appreciate that. I like the flow of that intro. I think it works really well, and it gives me time to like settle the nerves and get ready to go, because believe it or not, guys, I'll just be I'll be upfront with you. I've been doing 63 episodes of this. This is our 63rd episode. In total, with like live Q&As and other streams, I think I've probably done like 80 live streams on my channel at this point. I still get nervous every time I'm about to hit go live. I still have to take that moment where I settle down and get ready for it. And having the intro video gives me about 2 minutes to get ready and watch it and look at the chat and see that people are actually here. Because I mean, I still get that. I still feel like no one's going to show up. The minute I hit go live, I still feel like no one's going to be here. But you guys have showed up consistently. You guys have been amazing. I cannot thank you guys enough for spending your Wednesday nights with me for these 63 episodes. It's been incredible. 8090 says it's like Naboo ceremony. It's like the Naboo ceremony. It's like the it's like the Naboo ceremony. I'm not quite. I know that Naboo is like from Phantom Menace, but I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, man. Dreams in Hollywood. What's going on, Dreams in Hollywood? Thanks for being here. I'm new to the YouTube scene. How long have you been making videos for, and what's your number one piece of advice for new YouTubers? Well, first of all, dude, congratulations and good job on taking the plunge of joining YouTube, hitting record, editing that video, not editing that video, posting it to all the world to see. That's a big step, and good job, man. I've been doing videos now. I've had this channel for 4.5 years now. It'll be 5 years in January. January 18th will be 5 years on YouTube. And yeah, it's been a journey. Go back to my older videos. They suck. Some would say that these videos suck. And you know what? Maybe they do. I'm just learning and going along every single day. My biggest number one piece of advice for a new YouTuber, man, that's a what would I have told myself when I first? I think the most generic one, but the honest one, is have fun. You know, have fun with it. Don't feel pressured to post. I think that's a big one, actually. Don't feel pressured to post. If you don't feel like posting something, don't post something. Especially like, this is just a hobby. This is just something you're supposed to do for fun. If you're not in the spirit, if you're not in the mood to make a YouTube video, but you feel like, oh, I haven't posted on my channel for a week, and don't worry about it. No one else is worrying about that. Don't let yourself get in your head about that. You're just going to get burned out. You're just going to get, discouraged. So just have fun with it. Any new idea that you have, try it. Any video idea that you have is worth making. Give it a go. You never know what's going to take off. So if you're just thinking one day, hey, maybe that would be a cool video, do it. Just do it. Just especially when you're first starting off. You're going to be looking for what your thing is, what your niche is. I was not doing live shows. I was not really doing movie news or commentary on movie stories like 3 years ago. I think I've been doing this live show now for 1.5 years. Maybe I'm getting close to 2 years, but anyways, yeah, that would be my advice to you, man. Just have fun with it. Don't feel pressured through it, and let your creativity flow, man. That's awesome. Welcome to YouTube, man. We're happy to have you here, guys. Go check out his new channel. Check out his couple videos that he probably has posted at this point, and let's give him some love and support. Tell him Zach Milne Talks Movies sent ya, and go fill his comment section with some love. Luke Ponto, what's going on, Luke? Thanks for joining us. My main Zach, what's going on, my guy? Just got back from seeing Saw X, and it was awesome. Yeah, a lot of Saw fans have been really loving that show. That's what I've been seeing. A lot of love for Saw from the Saw fans. So I'm glad it's working for you guys. I'm glad you're having fun. The Oberthorian Alliance from two perspectives. I am nailing this. Come on. The Oberthorian Alliance from two perspectives. Star Wars Andor has the superior writing. It's just better at everything. Yeah, Andor is still the best Star Wars show. Not to bury the lead, I guess. Andor is still my favorite Star Wars show. Where does Ahsoka land? We'll talk about that later. But yeah. Daily Reacts TV says I have 439 subscribers. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Dark Movies says it is 4:39 in the morning and he hasn't gone to bed yet. I'm pretty sure that's 4:39 in the morning. Because it's definitely, is that the afternoon, Dark? You're not that far ahead of us, are you? I don't think you are. Luke Ponto says I'm at 491, 9 away from 500. That's very exciting, Luke. That was your goal. I know that was your goal is 500. You're only 9 away from it. That's very exciting. If you guys haven't subscribed to Luke, if you haven't checked out his channel, click on his name, head on over there. He just needs 9 more to hit his goal. Why don't you go on, make his night? That'd be awesome, man. And I'm rooting for you, Luke. You're gonna hit it. You're gonna hit that. Don't worry about it. Michael Entity, in the entire MCU, would you say there's an entry that is actually awful to the point where it's unwatchable? Or do you think there's only semi-okay entries in the MCU? So this is obviously a subjective question. Everyone's going to answer this differently. For me personally, I'm going to say no. I don't think there was anything completely awful that is unwatchable, but the one MCU project that I just flat out don't like, I just didn't like it, was She-Hulk. It took till She-Hulk to get to a project that I just flat out didn't like. All the movies ranged from fine to great for me. Like even Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 2, even the ones that people would put at the bottom of their list, I still think are okay. I think they're fine. They're watchable. Incredible Hulk is watchable. I know some people really love that, but to me, it's just kind of like a fine MCU movie. But the one that broke the camel's back, that made me go, I just officially don't like this, is She-Hulk. Everything else, I've at least enjoyed to some degree. Draven Mayberry, what's going on, Draven? Thanks for joining us. Ayo, well, Ayo, back to you, man. One of our beloved channel members, Aaron Austin's in here. What's going on, Austin? Thank you for being here. Thanks for being a channel member, my friend. Hello, everyone. Hello, Austin. We're happy to have you here. Upthorian Alliance from Two Perspectives says they have 176 subscribers. That's awesome. Dark Movie says I finally got to watch episode 5 of Ahsoka. Well, the review is going to be spoiler filled. Let me just tell you right now, man. So you might want to jump off at that point, man. Tyler Calvert, what's going on, Tyler? Thanks for joining us tonight. It's an honor to have you here. Shin Hottie made it through the finale alive, so it's a win in my book. Okay, it's her last name's not actually Hottie, is it? I see what you're doing there, Tyler. Yeah, Shin and Balin were the MVPs of the show. Absolutely. Dark Movie says he's only seen 30 minutes of episode 5. Okay, so you're not quite through it yet, huh? Aaron Austin, I think people are mad because no resolution was provided for any of the main characters except for finding Ezra, and a whole season just for that might bother Star Wars fans. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, the whole season was about finding Ezra and finding Thrawn, and they succeeded at that in season 1, so that kind of closed out the book, and then they left open-ended questions of what could happen down the line in season 2. I'm not going to argue with anyone that's upset about that, but personally for me, I don't know, it just didn't bother me. Aaron Austin says Neo-Noir Logan. Okay, I've seen the noir version of Logan. I think I own it on Blu-ray. I think it came with my Blu-ray that I have for Logan, so if that's Neo-Noir, then yes, I do. Age Gift from 90 says, I turned 27 on Saturday. Party Man won the vote. That's awesome. I'm so excited to see my friends at my birthday party. That's exciting, man. That's exciting. Happy early birthday to you, dude. It is Canadian Thanksgiving this coming up weekend, so I'm going to be out of town, but I don't know why that matters. It's not like I'm going to be at your party, but yeah, no, it's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's super exciting. Hope you have a fantastic birthday. Dreams in Hollywood said, also want to say I'm super happy to be a part of this community. I love movies. Well, happy to have you here, man. We're so happy to have another voice in the conversation. And yeah, it's an honor. It's an honor to have you here. Age Gift from 90 says, back when I was a kid, we had a store called Blockbuster. yeah, we have to start saying that, huh? Oh, it's weird. I mean, we've been saying that for a while, but... Dark Movie says, I still haven't seen the new iCarly. Only grew up with the old one. Well, I'm not going to necessarily recommend it to you. Let's just put it that way. Age Gift from 90 says, they bring back Frasier. Why the sequel shows? Why? Because money and nostalgia sells, at least for a little bit. Age Gift from 90 says, Ezra was super cool and awesome. I actually ended up kind of digging his character. I'm glad we got more than one episode with him, and I actually got to see a little bit of what his character was, and he was cool. Arbitorian Alliance from Two Perspectives says it's Thursday for me. Oh, so you're like a day ahead? Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy, man. Age Gift from 90 says Phantom Menace ending song is what I'm referring to. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. The Naboo ceremony. Okay, I see what you're saying. That's a good. I like that ending song. Spoiler Kings, one of our beloved channel members. Thank you for being channel members, and thank you for being here, Spoiler Kings. What's up, Zach? Can't stay. Just wanted to say hello and keep up the great work. Well, I appreciate that so much, guys, and likewise, right back to you. I appreciated you tagging me in that video about YouTube motivation. That was really nice, and the shout out was very generous of you guys. So thank you so much. And we did a jump there. Let's do dark movies. Yeah, even for me too, like I have done probably over 100 live streams over the past 6 to 7 years. Wow, that's awesome, man. But my legs cannot stop shaking. Yeah. 80s Kid from the 90s says 5 years. Awesome. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. It's half a decade. It's going to be half a decade doing this. And then before I know it, it's going to be a decade. Oh my goodness. Crazy. Time flies when you're having fun. 80s Kid from the 90s says, I love the YouTubes. Me too, man. Me too. Dark Movie says, well said, man. Yeah, I really took this week off because you took this week off because you were burned out, and I was really, really tired of everything YouTube, but soon I'm going to be back. Still mad because my country for Saw X. Oh, did you not get Saw X in your theater, man? I'm sorry about that, dude. That sucks. Dreams in Hollywood said, thanks for the great response, man. I really appreciate it. Well, I'm glad that you I'm honored that you even asked me, man. That's a huge honor to be asked that question, and I'm glad that you're on YouTube. I'm glad that you're doing this, man. I look forward to seeing your journey and where you go from here. 80Kevin90 says Andor ending was anticlimactic for me. It did just kind of feel like it ended with another episode that was supposed to come on next, and then just never did. And we'll go with Dark, and then we'll go on with our first topic, where he says it is indeed 4:39 a.m. where he is. Holy crap, Dark, that is insane. That's insane. All right, guys, let's just move on to our first topic now, and thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining us. Now, the first topic, I mean, I know not everyone's going to care about this, but I wanted to talk about it. So, if you've been on, if you've been around, if you've been on the channel with me for a little bit, you know I have a history with iCarly. Loved the show growing up. I watched, it premiered in 2007. I was 8 years old. I watched it when it premiered right after Drake and Josh. I love the show. Love it. It's nostalgic. It is my comfort show. Just something I grew up with that I dearly loved. And when they announced that they were doing an iCarly revival on Paramount Plus in 2021, through the roof excitement. I was really, really looking forward to seeing the gang come back together, looking forward to seeing the original actors play the characters that I loved. I wanted to see where they were, where they ended up being, and I thought that the idea of making it more of an adult show was really appealing, especially with all the fans now grown up as adults. Well, it wasn't long into the show where I realized very quickly it wasn't working for me. It was a show that never really felt like it really knew what it wanted to be, in my opinion. The show always felt like it was trying to be adult, but still be like a kid show. It was weird. The way that it was formatted, it felt like a Nickelodeon kids show still, but with beer and other jokes thrown in. But the biggest thing for me is that it was not funny. Especially as an adult, I just could not see how this was made for adults. It felt cringy. It felt just awkward and weird. To me personally, I just could never, ever get on board with the show. And so it comes with no shock at all for me personally. But I know a lot of people are very disappointed today that Paramount Plus has decided to cancel iCarly after 3 seasons. So this comes to us from, what does this come to us from? Oh, this comes to us from Deadline. It says so right there. That's pretty funny. All right, so this comes to us from Deadline. They say, so long, iCarly. Paramount Plus has decided not to renew the revival for a 4th season. The series had a great 3-season run and delivered on what fans really wanted to see, with Carly and Freddie finally getting together, said a Paramount Plus spokesman. We wanted to thank the entire cast, the writers, directors, and producers, along with the whole crew, for their dedication, creativity, and talent. iCarly stars Miranda Cosgrove as Carly, Jerry Trainer as Spencer, Nathan Kress as Freddie, Lacey Mosley as Harper, and Jalen Twiplet as Millicent. The revival launched in June 2021. It picked up nearly 10 years after the original Nickelodeon show ended, finding Carly, the original influencer, and her friends navigating work, love, and family now as adults. All right. So, as I mentioned before, yes, I was very excited when this show got announced that it was coming back. I thought that there was so much potential for the show to do, especially with nowadays. I mean, iCarly was always kind of ahead of its time with like the YouTube and influential culture. Now we're in a time where that is booming. You got Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, this, that. You got so much potential to do with iCarly and bringing commentary to what the world is nowadays. And I just felt like the show never had it found its footing. I felt like the show never felt like it came back with a purpose. This show felt like they banked it all on nostalgia and nostalgia alone. I never felt like this show had something to say about modern day. I never really felt like this show had grown up with the audience. As I mentioned before, this show could have been great. This show really could have been. I could have seen this go on for 6 seasons. If you had the fan base already, if they had really nailed the tone, if they had nailed the jokes, if they had nailed the concept of this show I thought could have been great. But honestly, that's where I feel like they messed up, is I felt like they never nailed the concept of what this is going to be. Yeah, they're adults now, but it never felt like they took that very seriously to me. And I always found that weird. And then season 3, so this show has always been a trudge for me to get through. Season 1, I finished it with hope that season 2 could be better, and I did find a little bit of an increase in season 2 in my enjoyment, but this show has always been just a trudge to get through. I really only watch it because I love these characters from my childhood, and I just get that nostalgic kick whenever I see them, but the show itself was always so hard to get through. And when it came to season 3 to me is where it really showed that they were getting desperate. As it mentioned in that quote, we finally did what the fans wanted to see with Carly and Freddie getting together. The way that they got these two together in the show was so disappointing. They just slapped them together, and it felt like they did it because they ran out of ideas. They ran out of momentum with what they were doing with this show. It never felt organic. It didn't feel built up to. I thought they dropped the ball with it, and yeah, the show did have a cliffhanger in season 3 that was kind of intriguing. For those of you who didn't see it, spoiler alert, they introduced that Carly's mom is coming into the picture. They talk about her for a brief second in the episode, and by the end of the episode, Carly notices her mom, but we never get to see her. And Carly's mom has always been a mystery of iCarly. So I know that I would have been suckered back into watching this show in season 4. And now that just is looking like it's not going to happen. And this whole thing, to me, is just a shame. It's a shame the show came back with such lackluster performance, with such lackluster writing. And also with the writer's strike, that's another thing too, is with these writer's strikes. The writer's strike, coming back from that, shows were not going to make it through. Some shows, it was just inevitable. Some shows were not going to survive this writer's strike. Some shows were going to get canned. And unfortunately, it looks like iCarly is one of those shows. But what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of the iCarly revival getting canceled? Did you watch it? Did you not give a crap? Did you grow up with iCarly? Did you like this revival? Did you not like it? Comment down below and let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this, guys. And without further ado, let's just take a quick look and see what you guys are saying about this, because I know some of you guys really did love this show. Hardcore Reviews, what's going on, Hardcore? Thanks for joining us tonight. Hey, Zach, just joining in after dinner and just curious on your excitement level for Loki Season 2 tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd maybe give it an 8. I'm hopeful. I'm a little bit nervous because, Secret Invasion was kind of lackluster. She-Hulk was I didn't like it. So I'm hoping this can come back strong. I'm hoping I can love this, because I didn't even love Loki Season 1, but I really liked Loki Season 1, so I'm looking forward to it. Skip from the 90s says, I'm skipping Loki until episode 6 is released. You're just going to binge it all, man? That's awesome. That's one way to go, to be honest with you, because sometimes these shows do feel like they're meant to be binged, almost. Like you're just supposed to boom, boom, boom to the next one, because sometimes waiting a week in between can make it feel like filler when it's not. Dreams in Hollywood said, agreed. She-Hulk was the first media from MCU I didn't finish. Just awful writing. Yeah, another show that just wasn't funny. It was supposed to be funny, and it just wasn't. Lupanto says, Zach, you are my best guy. Love you, bro. Love you too, Luke. Thanks for being here, man. Thank you for those kind words. Let's see here. We got Luke Irvin in here saying, hey, everybody. Well, hello, Luke. Thanks for joining us. Happy to have you here. Dark Movie says, I'm probably not going to watch the show, so I'm still going to be here. Okay, fair enough, man. Fair enough. I gave you a warning. Hardcore Review says, yeah, I really wasn't the biggest fan of Ahsoka finale. It just didn't feel like a true finale for the type of show this was. There was no sense of urgency or tension. That's very true. 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, it lacked tension, and we'll talk about that for sure. Let's see here. 80 from the 90s says, Kanan built a new version of his master's lightsaber. It's like poetry, so it rhymes. Ezra's original lightsaber was blue. That's all I'll say. Right over my head. I never would have known that. The View with Drew says, good news, I made an origin story video on my channel recently. That's exciting, man. I'll be looking forward to checking that out. 80 from the 90s says, Ezra built a new lightsaber, not Kanan, my bad. Oh, Ezra built a new lightsaber. Yeah, that's right. Aaron Austin, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Dark Movie says, yeah, same, man. iCarly was my childhood too. I was born in 2007, so yeah, I watched it my whole childhood. You watched it since you came out of the womb. You watched it from birth. That's awesome, dude. Let's see here. Aaron Austin says, no, not iCarly. Rest in peace, iCarly, says Dark Movies. 8790 says it's like Fuller House all over again. Yeah, Fuller House. Okay, Full House was always a cheesy, corny show, and Fuller House still did that. So it's like I just didn't get into Fuller House. Let's just put it that way. Fuller House was just a show that I just could not bring. With so much stuff to watch on Netflix and all these other streaming shows, Fuller House fell through the cracks. I always gave iCarly because I was always hopeful. Even though I felt like I was suffering by putting myself through the show sometimes, I was always hopeful that the next episode would be something special. And I will say that there were some episodes of iCarly, more so in iCarly Season 2, that I did legit like. But yeah, it just ended up being a disappointment all the way around for me. The View with Drew, question for everyone. If you're planning on dressing up as Halloween, what would you want to dress up as? I don't know if I'm planning on... I mean, I got Spider-Man costumes here that I'll always dress up in. I might not fit in one anymore. But, yeah. I never plan this far ahead what I'm going to wear for Halloween. I was always the last-minute kid. I was always the last-minute choice. It was like October 28th. Mom, we got to go to Value Village or the thrift store and get me a costume because it's time. Dark Movie says, Carly's mom. Yep, Carly's mom we were this close. And we didn't get it. But it's interesting because the show made it sound like she abandoned the family, which is an interesting way to go. And I kind of always assumed that. I mean, I always assumed she died. They never said it, but I always assumed that she died. But the fact that she just fled and left, that would have been interesting to explore. That probably actually could have been a really good storyline for once in the show. Anyways, 8790 says, I would dress up as a blue alien with a cape and blaster. That's pretty awesome. Aaron Austin said Carly's mom has got it going on. I mean, we never saw her, but I mean, we can only assume. Stacy's mom has got it going on. That was clever. Arthurian Alliance from Two Perspective. Never even heard of this show. Never even heard of iCarly. Yeah, it's probably just my generation thing. Fair enough, man. The View with Drew. I thought about two ideas for what I would dress up as: either a superhero classic or a musical icon. I would go with the musical icon. Honestly, I think that would be pretty fun. Who are you thinking of, though? Who are you thinking? I don't know who your musical icons are. Aaron Austin says, Carly, can't you see you're not the girl for me? Oh my goodness. We're just going to sing a parody of Stacy's mom for the rest of the night with Carly's mom. Dark Movies. iCarly, just talking about it right now, just brings back so many memories. Yeah, it is for me too, man. iCarly, Drake and Josh, Victorious. Those are very, very nostalgic shows for me. More so Drake and Josh than iCarly. But yeah, man, it's a shame. It's a shame. I really wanted to love iCarly, and I'm jealous of those who grew up with iCarly who did love this iCarly revival. I wanted to be one of you, and I just wasn't. Nathan's Random Movie says, hi, Zach. Well, hello, Nathan. Thanks for joining us tonight, Nathan. It's great to have you here. Hi, Zach. I'm about to film my September films ranked. I think you know what is in last place, my birthday film. Yeah, man, that was, expend for bowls for your birthday. I'm still so sorry, man. I'm still so sorry to hear that. The Oberthorian Alliance from Two Perspectives. On that topic, what is better, weekly releases or release all at once so you can actually choose what you would want, choose what you want to do? Easily, weekly releases. Weekly releases, I think, are better. Sometimes, like I mentioned, yes, waiting week to week does make an episode feel like filler. But what it does is it keeps the conversation going longer. Like Ahsoka. We've been talking about Ahsoka for a couple like a month and a half now. I've been doing watch-alongs with the channel members over on the channel member page, which if you want to become a channel member, you can check the description below, all the information there. We've been doing watch-alongs for the show. Well, not the whole show, but for about half the show, we did watch-alongs for it, and that was fun, and that kept us coming back and talking. And yeah, so I enjoy the weekly release schedule simply for this space. I enjoy talking about it more and speculating and having the theorizing. If I wasn't doing YouTube, if I didn't care to talk about it, I would probably want it all at once because I'm just a person that is impatient. But yeah, for this, I like weekly releases all the way. Nathan's Random Movies says, on that note, what are you seeing in October? For me, it's Exorcist Believer, Totally Killer, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm on the fence at Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm on the fence of that. I'm definitely seeing Killers of the Flower Moon. I'll definitely check out Totally Killer. Other than that, I don't really know if there's anything else in October that I'm that amped for that I can think of off the top of my head. No, Rebel Moon's not till November. Sully Streams, what's going on, Sully? Thanks for joining us, man. What's up, Zach? Hope you're doing well. What big movies are you looking forward to the most next? Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to Killers of the Flower Moon, like we mentioned. I'm looking forward to The Holdovers. I know that's not like a big movie, but I think it looks great, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward. I said the Marvels. I said no. Killers of the Flower Moon, Holdovers, the Marvels. I'm looking forward to. Yeah, those are the big ones. Napoleon. I'm really looking forward to Napoleon as well. I think Napoleon looks like it's gonna be just epic. Ridley Scott. If you guys haven't seen Ridley Scott's The Last Duel, I think that's a criminally underrated film of his with Adam Driver and Matt Damon. Definitely check that out. I think it came out last year, 2022? It might have been 21. But yeah, The Last Duel. If you haven't seen that, check that out. And he's just great with those period pieces. So I think Napoleon is going to be fantastic as well. Chillmonger, what's going on, Chillmonger? Thanks for joining us, man. Happy to have you here. Zach is dying to see Paw Patrol next. Oh, you know it. I just can't wait any longer. Got to get up to the theater. I got to see that. Got to get up to the theater for that one. And we'll say 80s Kid from the 90s, and then we'll go on to topic 2. 80s Kid from the 90s says, Full House, the original, was great. I enjoyed it. It was nostalgic for me. I watched it a lot with my mom growing up. I had a speech impediment. I couldn't say my F's, so fish came out as bish. Fork was bork. You get the picture. My parents thought it was hilarious, so they would bring me around to all the family and friends in their lives and get me to say these F words that I couldn't say. They would be wrong. And then they realized that I was starting kindergarten soon, and they were worried that I was going to get bullied. So they figured, maybe we shouldn't let this kid go to kindergarten with the speech impediment. I don't know why that was their thinking, but it was. So I was held back from kindergarten by 1 year to get that problem fixed. And I still have like some speech impediment. Like my R's, they'll slip a lot. You'll probably hear them if you listen closely throughout the show. My R's slip into W's. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is the gap year when I was supposed to be in kindergarten but wasn't. But my sister and stuff was in school. I would sit at home with my mom. She was just staying at home with me. And in the middle of the day, we'd watch like The Price is Right, Family Feud, and Full House. We watched a lot of Full House when it did reruns in the early afternoon or so. So that's kind of what I think of when I think of Full House, is just like that time when I was a really young kid sitting on the couch in the living room watching it with my mom. It's sweet memories. All right, guys. And with that, let's move on. Let's go on to topic number 2. And topic number 2, I'm probably gonna edit this into an actual review, because we're gonna talk about Ahsoka. So I'm probably just gonna edit this like a actual review later. So you're gonna see how the sausage is made, so to speak. All right, so Ahsoka is now airing all 8 episodes on Disney Plus. Now, before we get into this review, there's 2 things that you gotta know. I gotta set the foundation for this review. This is gonna be a spoiler review. The show's out. All the episodes are out. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've already watched Ahsoka and you just want to hear someone else's thoughts on it. So I'm just going to talk spoiler-free with Ahsoka. I don't want to be handcuffed to, a non-spoiler review for this. Also, the foundation for this also has to be said. I've never seen Rebels. I've never watched that show. I've seen the Clone Wars movies and maybe a handful of the Clone Wars episodes. So I have a little bit of an idea of the Anakin and Ahsoka relationship from that products. Other than that, Ahsoka was completely fresh and new to me. These characters were new to me. This whole world, this side of Star Wars was new to me. So ultimately, let's just get into my thoughts with Ahsoka. And let's start with this. I never watched Rebels, so how was this for someone who's never watched Rebels? Honestly, for the first couple episodes, I would say for the first 4, maybe stretch it to 5 episodes, I felt the show had a pretty good balance of introducing these characters to a new audience while also appeasing those who have watched Rebels. My brother is a die-hard Clone Wars and Rebels fan, so I can tell you from his experience that this definitely works for Rebels and Clone Wars fans, because he was geeking out almost every week at the Easter eggs and the references and all that stuff that was coming out of these people's mouths and what was on screen. I didn't pick up on all of those. I didn't pick up on many of those, as a matter of fact. So I will say, though, that later on in the show, around midway point maybe of episode 5 or beyond episode 5, the balance started to get a little bit more uneven. I did find myself feeling a bit more lost in this world, a bit more lost of what was really going on. The whole show, the whole season is setting up where they're looking for these characters, Thrawn and Ezra. Apparently at the end of Rebels, the show, these characters disappeared. No one really knows where they went. And Ahsoka, Sabine, her friends, they're trying to find Thrawn and Ezra. Now, did I know who Thrawn and Ezra were when I started this show? I had no freaking clue who these people were. And the whole show is kind of building this mystery of where did they go? Who are they? And I did find myself to be a little bit intrigued in the beginning of the show for those characters. Now, when those characters do show up, when Thrawn shows up and Ezra shows up, it's a little lackluster to me, honestly, because they build them up so much. They build up these relationships. They build up this threat to the point that when Thrawn actually shows up on screen, I was kind of into his character. I thought some of his dialogue worked really well. You could tell that he was a very powerful, thoughtful villain. You know, he was always one step ahead of the characters. That's how he was presented. I kind of found that really cool. But honestly, the villains in this show that really stuck out to me were these new characters, Baylan and Shin. Now, these characters, they don't get enough shine in this show as much as they should, especially Baylan, who's played by the now, unfortunately, rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. He stole the show. He was the MVP of the show. The way that he held himself, the way he was kind of a methodical villain. He never spoke. He never got angry. He never raged out. He was always very calm. He always felt like he was in control. He felt like more of a commanding presence than Thrawn ever did to me, to be honest with you guys. And when it comes to our main characters that we're following, Ahsoka and Sabine and Hera and all those people, I can't ever say that I really cared that much about them. I think a big problem with those characters for me is the fact that, you know, Star Wars has always had these crazy worlds and aliens and creatures, but there's always been this humanity to them. And I felt like these characters, this might sound weird to say, but these characters kind of lacked humanity. I'll give you a big example that really bothered me. The whole show is building up to Ezra. We got to find Ezra. Apparently Sabine and this Ezra character, really close relationship. She misses him terribly. So this whole show, Sabine is like, Ezra, I got to find Ezra. Is Ezra still alive? Ezra. And then they finally find this Ezra character, and there's like no emotion. It's like, hug the freaking guy, for crying out loud. She looks at him, she smiles, she might get a little snarky. Maybe that's her character in Rebels, I don't know. But for me, that was a big disappointment when they finally found him. Ahsoka, she's very stoic. A lot of the characters are stoic. A lot of the characters feel kind of stilted to me as you watch this episode. They never really feel like they give these characters any chance of getting vulnerable, of letting their walls down, of letting the audience really get inside these characters and get inside their heads and see these characters at a breaking point or at a vulnerable stage. They're just always so stoic. They're always so stilted. They never really felt like there was danger. They never really felt like there was urgency to any situation. And because of that, the show does lack the intensity and, I would say, some of the needed moments of drama that I think would have made the show just a little bit better. Now, what the show does have going for it is some really fun fan service. Now, you're either going to hear that word fan service and think to yourself, that sounds awful, not into that, or you're going to hear the word fan service and be like, I'm a fan, service me, as the Flick Pick would say. And dude, any time Anakin Skywalker was on the screen. When they brought Hayden Christensen back, which I did not expect to have that much Hayden Christensen. He shows up at the end of episode 4, almost the entirety of episode 5. He pops up again in episode 7, and he's at the end of episode 8. We finally get to see the Force ghost of him at the end of episode 8. Loved every second of it. I thought Hayden Christensen did a great job playing off of Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka as well. This felt like his redemption. It was great. There's an episode where we see C-3PO show up as well as the spokesperson for Leia. I felt like the cameos and what people would call the member berries of the show, they were used well because they were used in a narrative way. Now, going on to some more of my negatives with the show, I do think the show has very clunky writing. I feel like a lot of the show had moments where characters made illogical decisions. They made decisions that didn't really feel like these characters are this dumb. They shouldn't make these decisions. There were some characters in here, honestly, that just felt like they were just filling up the page of the script. I did not feel like they needed to be in the show as much as they were in the show. I feel like there could have been more time dedicated to something more important, like Hera and her son Jason, for example. I don't really know why Jason was even introduced in this show. He disappears after 2 episodes, and it feels like they were setting up something for him, but then it never comes to fruition. It was kind of weird. And I feel like the show also had some of the sloppiest and worst work of the volume of all the Disney Plus Star Wars shows. There were so many times in this show where you can see the place where the soundstage and the screens that are projecting the environment around the actors where they meet, and it just pulls me out of the show, first of all, and it just looks sloppy. And there was also some choreographed fighting in this that was kind of sloppy looking as well. In episode 4, Ahsoka has this fight with Balin, and I don't know, there was something about the choreography, the way that they moved. It just felt like it was something was off with the choreography for me. So to wrap up my thoughts on Ahsoka, what I will say about the show is that I found it consistently fine. Every time I watched the show, I was waiting for that moment. I was waiting for that episode where I went from I like this to this is great, I'm loving this show. And I never got that episode. I got those moments, like I mentioned, Anakin. Anytime he popped up, I got super amped. Episode 5, all the stuff with Anakin and that, with the Clone Wars flashbacks. I mean, that was a lot of fun. That was great to see. But other than that, the show always just had this tone, this consistent tone that always just felt kind of, this show is okay. Like, there's not really an episode, maybe episode 4, maybe parts of episode 5 that I would go back and watch again. But as a whole, now that we've gotten the full picture of season 1, I don't really feel like I want to rewatch this entire show again. There's things that were set up that never got completed, which doesn't bother me personally. You'll have to wait till season 2, I guess, to see how they come to fruition. But all in all, I would say if you are a massive Clone Wars fan, if you are a Rebels fan, you're going to probably love this show. There's a lot here. There's a lot of references. There's a lot of Easter eggs for you to check out. So I'm sure you'll have fun with that. If you're like me and you've never watched Rebels and you've never watched Clone Wars, I would say that it is a show that is watchable. I think there's some amazing moments, but I don't think much of the characters or even the storyline is going to hook you that intensely. So for those Clone Wars and Rebels fans, I guess I would give this a strong recommend just based on my brother's enthusiasm. But for me, if you're like me and you've never watched these shows before, I'm going to give Ahsoka a weak recommend. Yeah, I feel good about that. What do you guys think of Ahsoka? What did you guys think of the journey? Did you watch Clone Wars? Did you watch Rebels? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions, guys. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying about that. All right. So that's how I shoot my reviews. And then we'll edit it and put it out later. There you go, guys. Little behind the scenes for you there. Nathan's Random Movies. But yeah, tell me what you guys thought of Ahsoka. Tell me is there anything you want me to expand on? Did you have questions about what I just said? Let's have a full-on discussion about it, guys. It can be great. Nathan's Random Movies. Are you excited for Silent Night, the latest John Woo Christmas action thriller, and Thanksgiving, the slasher film in November? I am interested in both. I would say I've never heard of Silent Night, but it sounds more exciting to me than Thanksgiving, the slasher film. I don't have any interest in that Thanksgiving slasher film. Oh wow, we got where are we at now? We're at here. Okay, 80s gift from the 90s. Drake and Josh is great. Keenan and Kel is awesome. Like Orange Soda, and Good Burger is great. I agree with 2 out of 3 on that, man. I don't know how I ended up being the hub for all the Good Burger love. Like, of all the people, me, the person who doesn't like Good Burger. I mean, it's not that I don't like Good Burger. I don't get the nostalgic hype because I didn't see it in a nostalgic way. I'm not interested in Good Burger 2. I'm sorry. Drake and Josh is great. I agree with you there. And Keenan and Kel was awesome. And yes, Kel loves orange soda. He does. He do. Even though that doesn't make any sense. Holy moly. I don't know what this is in Canadian, but Dark Movies just sent $50 in I'm sorry, I don't know what region that is, man. But look, I don't know how much that is here, but I don't even care, man. That is super, super generous of you, man. So I thank you so much. And Dark Movies, with that, he said, what's the best tip you got for analyzing movies? I'm trying to learn more about it because I need it. This donation is because you are an amazing YouTuber. Well, thank you so much, man. That's really generous. Like, I'm sure that's 50 bucks where you're from, man. So I'm just gonna assume that's $50 where you're from, and that's beyond generous, dude. I thank you so much, man. And you're a channel member as well, man. You're really helping the show out. You're helping the whole channel out. The best tip for analyzing movies. I mean, honestly, there's books that you can read. I got a couple books that I've read that help me with that. Watch diversify your YouTube channel movie watching, I would say. Like, I would say don't just watch movie reviews from the same people over and over again. Look at breakdowns, look at analyzations, look at video essays. Like, get a whole different what's the right word here? Variety of movie pundit, movie conversation formats. I think that helps a lot. Definitely, I would say listen to commentaries, director commentaries on Blu-rays if you got time. I used to love doing that. Watch behind the scenes videos, read up on it. If you have a question about something, look it up. It's tricky because I kind of have done all these things I started doing that really intensely when I was 13 years old. So you could say that I've had a decade of like consistently doing these things, and you just kind of, your brain just kind of grows in that way of looking at movies in different ways and starting to look for, like technicality pieces of movies, I guess is the way to put it. It's a very good question. I mean, obviously there's film school, obviously there's all these things, but I the best tip for me for that is definitely find podcasts that talk about movie analyzation, look at different YouTube videos, different YouTube channels, just get as much as you can. And man, I appreciate that again, man. That super chat, super, super generous of you, man. And I appreciate you so much, Dark. Thank you so much. And 80 Kid from the 90s is saying it's 11:25, so good night, everyone. Well, good night, 80 Kid from the 90s. Thanks for being here, man. The show is made better because you were a part of it, and I appreciate you. Have a good night. And we'll go back up to where we left off. Aaron Austin says, which would you rather relive, the 90s Nick or the 2000s Nick? See, for me, I didn't watch much 90s Nick. I watched more 2000s Nick. And, SpongeBob started in the 90s, but it was around in the 2000s, so I guess that would count. I'm going to go with the 2000s Nick. I feel like that works the best. HK from 90 says, I need a funk pop for the blue man himself, Thrawn. I didn't hate the character. I just never got the hype. Based off the show, I just never got the hype. Dark Movie says, already got my tickets for Exorcist Believer. Oh, I'm excited for that. I will say, though, that you said The Holdovers. I saw the trailer, and it looks really good. Yeah, I think The Holdovers is going to be like the little gem of this year. One of the little gems this year. I'm super excited for it. And The Exorcist Believer, you will not find me there this weekend, but I hope you love it, man. I hope you love it. 8790 says, I sense a plot to revive Maul. Oh, don't bring Maul back. We don't need Maul back. I mean, I know he popped up in Solo: A Star Wars Story, which I think was was that before or after Obi-Wan? I know that Obi-Wan and him fought and he died from Obi-Wan's hand, but I don't know the timeline. I know that happened in Rebels. I don't know how far Rebels is, to be honest with you. But I don't need to see Maul come back, to be honest with you, man. Sully Stream says, OMG, Zach, you're speaking my language. The Last Duel was my favorite movie. Okay, it was 2021. One of the best movies I've seen in a long time. Yeah, it's a great movie. I was blown away by it. I thought it was fantastic. Age given from the 90s. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a place, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Whatever happened to predictability? I'm going to get demonetized, and I apologize to your ears. The View with Drew. What's your favorite movie scene where a song was used perfectly? My choice is Bad to the Bone, Terminator Judgment Day, Don't Stop Me Now, Shaun of the Dead, and Old Time Rock and Roll, Risky Business. That's good. Those are good picks. Baby Driver comes to mind, but I don't know the name of the song. But the way that they timed the rhythm and the beats of the music to the car chases, which was kind of like Baby's thing, those sequences are a lot of fun. But I don't know the name of any of the songs, so I can't. Even the opening intro when he's just walking down the street to get coffee, and the music is kind of, and you got the visuals behind him representing the musical lyrics. I mean, all that was just, I thought it was great. Ace from 90 says Sabine was awesome as Mandalorian Jedi. Oh yes, that's going to be awesome. I didn't add 2 and 2 until just now. Yeah, Sabine was fine. Honestly, I didn't ever really get into her character, to be honest. A lot of the characters I didn't get that into, to be honest with you. But I enjoyed when we got Ezra. I thought Ezra was kind of fun. He had a fun vibe and energy to him. Really liked Balin. Hugh Yang was the MVP. He was great. Chillmonger says Ahsoka completed, and now all the binge people can get what they want. Yep, go on and binge Ahsoka if you want. It's a fun time. HK from the 90s says in season 3 it was foreshadowed Sabine was sensitive to the Force. Never watched it, so see that doesn't mean anything to me personally, but I'm glad that was a fulfillment for you, man. I'm glad that worked so well for you and that you got to have that moment. HK from 90 says Ezra is better than Luke. Ezra learned how to be a good Jedi as well as a good person. Luke only learned how to become a good Jedi. He didn't become a good person. Is that what you're saying? I mean, he became a pretty grumpy old man in Last Jedi, but HK from 90 says I guarantee Ezra and Luke would not get along. That'd be interesting. Aaron Austin says Luke also learned how not to get a power converter. Yeah, he never did get that power converter, did he? Poor Luke. HK from 90 says Sabine is known to be snarky with Ezra. Yeah, I mean, I guess that works for the Rebels fan, but for me, when I'm waiting for that moment where I'm going to get attached to these characters, it just didn't work for me. Aaron Austin said, I miss sassy Ahsoka. This version was reminiscent of Plank from Ed, and Eddie. I barely get that reference because I barely remember Ed, and Eddie, but that's awesome, man. Age from 90 says Force Ghost Anakin Mortis. Yes. And he says thank you, Filoni. The only thing that bothered me about Force Ghost Anakin was that he didn't interact with Ahsoka. I hope that we get more Force Ghost Anakin in season 2, and I hope that he actually interacts with Ahsoka, because I'm not so sure that episode 5 Anakin was actually Force Ghost Anakin. I feel like it was more of a vision. HK90 says Jason's dad was Ezra's master. Okay, you're kind of catching me up on some of the backstory of these, which honestly, if you have to, the show kind of failed at that, in my opinion. The Oberthorian Alliance from two perspectives, 100% agree with you. They don't need to make every character into a Jedi like they did with Sabine. Yep. HK90 says I'm buying Ahsoka on Blu-ray. If they release it on Blu-ray, hopefully they will. HK90 says I'm excited for Dune 2, but that's all that's releasing. I hate to break it to you, man. Dune 2 ain't coming out this year anymore. I hate to break it to you. It got moved to March of next year. I guess you didn't catch that news, man. I'm sorry. Michael 101591, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. Hey, Zach, how you doing? I'm doing pretty well. Having a great old show with you guys. I'm having fun. How are you doing, man? Happy to have you here. Hardcore Review says, I'm checking out The Exorcist Believer on Friday, and my expectations are down low due to the Rotten Tomatoes score and the trailers being quite mediocre. Are you looking forward to the film, Zach? No, I'm not really interested. It's just not my horror kind of thing. I've seen the first Exorcist. I enjoy it enough. It's goofy. It's funny to me. Honestly, this one just looks freaking terrifying, and I'm just not really about that. As far as the Rotten Tomatoes score goes, yeah, 28% is what I saw it was last at, which isn't great. It's not great, unfortunately, so I apologize to you guys if you were really looking forward to it. I hope you love it. I hope that the critics, that you don't agree with them and that you have a great time. 80s90 says that Solo Star Wars story is a decade before the original trilogy, so 7 years before. So it's 7 years before Rebels. Okay, I don't know the timeline. Travis Mitchell, what's going on, Travis? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. How's it going, everyone? Doing pretty well, man. How are you doing? Travis Mitchell goes on to say, by the way, Real Scrod retracted a message, but Real Scrod, thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you here. Travis Mitchell says, Kingdom Come by Coldplay during the skateboarding scene in Amazing Spider-Man. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, Spider-Man 2, and Blitzkrieg Bob Homecoming. Honestly, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head from Spider-Man 2 is a contender for me. That scene is goofy and great in all the right ways. It's goofy and right in the ways that Spider-Man 3 with get on up and like emo Peter Parker down the street, it just didn't work the same way. But Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head from Spider-Man 2 worked exactly how it was supposed to work. We've got a membership birthday, I don't know what you would call these, but Movie Time Minute. First of all, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here, Movie Time Minute. And he just crossed 2 months of being a channel member, dude. So thank you so much, man, for the 2 months. Thank you so much for being here as a channel member. I've loved having you here. I've loved having you as a member, dude, and I appreciate it. Happy 2-month anniversary, man. Dark Movie says I might have to binge Ahsoka, but I don't know. Well, you've got my recommendations for it, man. Real Scrod said, you're an inspiration, Zach. Aw, keep up the good work, man. Hope everything is well and still appreciate your take on movies, man. Love from Real Squad. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for just writing that in to be supportive and to be kind, dude. That means a lot. And man, that's a big big title and inspiration. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. We also got another one. It looks like Dark Movies has also crossed 2 months of being a channel member. Hey, Movie Time Minute with the OGs. Yes, you guys are. Yes, you are. Thank you so much, dude, for being here for 2 months. Thank you, Dark, for being a channel member for 2 months, dude. I've loved having you. I appreciate you being here, man. And we got Movie Time Minute sending in a super chat as well, dude. Too kind, man. $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, man. You say, can't stay long, just wanted to send some support again and say I'm hyped for Loki. Have a great stream, and I think everyone in this chat rules. Well, thank you so much, DJ, man. You are amazing. You are absolutely incredible, dude, and all your support has it's gone such a long way for the channel, dude. You keep us going, and I appreciate you so much. You and Dark Movies, man. Thank you guys so much. Obathorian Alliance says, hopefully Loki is better than this show. Yeah, hopefully Loki is better than Ahsoka. I mean, I thought it was fine. Like I said, week recommend some cool stuff. Not always great, but yeah, hopefully Loki can get that strong recommend out of me. Michael1151 says, I didn't see the creator yet, but I want to. Well, speaking of the creator, let's take a pause real quickly. Let's move on to our third topic here today. And our third topic of the day, we are going to get on with this. One of the newest movies in theaters right now, from Gareth Edwards. He's back from Rogue One. It's been a while since we've seen the guy, but he's back, is The Creator. Now, I went out and I saw The Creator, got my review up, and I liked the movie. There was people coming out of their early screenings and first reactions coming out saying that this was a masterpiece. This was an all-time classic in sci-fi already. It's a sci-fi movie of our generation, blah, 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 blah. Overhype. Did not get that from me. I thought this movie was really overhyped from those first reactions. I thought it was good. Really creative world, really creative stuff. Very beautiful for an $80 million looking movie. Unfortunately, though, it did not do so great at the box office. This comes to us from MSN.com. And The Creator, unfortunately, failed at the box office. Unfortunately, it flopped. This comes to us, as I said before, this comes to us from MSN.com, and they said, The Creator faced heavy competition as both Saw X and Paw Patrol also opened over the weekend, with Dumb Money additionally expanding after a few weeks in the limited release. I missed Dumb Money. I really wanted to see that one, but I didn't get around to seeing it. In the end, Paw Patrol came in at the number one spot with $23 million. Not surprised that Paw Patrol came in at number one, man. That show is a phenomenon with kids nowadays. Saw X also had a very solid debut with 18.3 million. Sadly, that left Edwards' latest, which hails from Disney's 20th Century Studios, settling for third place with $14 million. It's not great. That's not good. The decent news is that the film performed better overseas, taking in 18.3 million internationally for a 32.3 million global debut. Edwards was shockingly thrifty for a movie of this scale, with the budget only coming in at 80 million. Be that as it may, though, Disney surely wanted more with this level of investment. The studio probably needs to pull in around $200 million worldwide on the low end to break even, and at this rate, the movie just simply won't get there. All right, guys. So, the creator, unfortunately, didn't come out on top. Didn't do very well. Now, this is unfortunate, but it's also not very surprising. This was an original, new movie, no links to any IP, no links to any franchise, completely 100% new. Even though I felt like it was very familiar in some of its tropes and cliches and storylines and characters, other than that, brand new world, brand new sci-fi thing. This is where we are very hypocritical creatures, I would say. Humanity is just hypocritical in and of itself. Because you have all these people always clamoring. They always want original content. You know, they announce, hey, we're going to do Captain America 4, and we're going to bring back, we're going to bring back Cars for Cars 5, and Toy Story 5 is being developed, and Frozen 2, and Frozen 3, and Zootopia 2, and all these stuff, and then you always get those people. Why doesn't Hollywood make original stuff anymore? Because when they do, you guys don't want it. You don't want it. That's the truth. You clamor, you complain, you don't get anything original. But the truth is, you don't want anything original. Because when original stuff comes out, you don't want to go see it. And I'm guilty of that too. Been there too. I've wanted some original stuff, and then original stuff comes out, and I think, don't really want to see that. It looks more like a streaming movie. Which then, you know what ends up happening is we only get these movies made for streaming. That is how it works. Wallet to business. If they don't see the money come in, they're not going to put money towards it, unfortunately. Also, I'm not very surprised to see that the creator didn't do very well, because the creator, in my opinion, wasn't marketed very well. I only really saw the creator, like, I watch a lot of YouTube. I go to my parents' place and watch their television and their cable, satellite, whatever they got over there. I'll watch stuff over there. I can tell you with full honesty that I only ever saw the creator trailer in the movie theaters when I went to go see a movie. I never got a creator trailer for a YouTube ad. Never saw it on my mom's TV when they were watching commercials at their house. I just don't think that they put much marketing into this. I don't think people knew what this was. I mean, even the title, The Creator, it's kind of vague. It's kind of generic. Unless you want to do the work to investigate what it is, people just don't know what to expect from this. And even some of the trailer, I mean, this is not, even after now seeing the movie, this is not a hugely action-packed sci-fi film. There's definitely action in it. There's great action in it, mostly in like the background of the movie. And I thought the third act was excellent. I had a blast with the third act of the film. But other than that, this movie is more of a slower burn, and it's more presented as almost like an artsy film. And that's just not going to get a lot of the general audience in the theater for that. And you look at what did do well, franchise. Paw Patrol, it came in at number 1. Saw X, the 10th Saw movie, for crying out loud, came in second place. That's what happens when you want original content, but you don't go out to support it, and then the studio sees that the franchise movies are what's bringing in the bucks. They make more franchise movies, and the wheel keeps turning, and people go, why doesn't Hollywood make original films anymore? And then they put out The Creator, and no one goes to see it. So that's a shame. It's a shame. I hope that I would like to see more from this world, to be honest with you. I hope that this doesn't completely squander any chance of Gareth Edwards doing more with this world, because I think there's more stories to explore. Even though I didn't love this movie or even think this movie was great, I am interested in seeing more from it. But anyway, guys, What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of the creator bombing? Not doing very well at the box office. Did you go out to see it? Did you not want to see it at all? Did it not look interesting to you? Did you not like it when you saw it? Did you love it? I want to hear all the thoughts and opinions going through all your guys' heads. Comment down below and let me know. And with that, guys, let's just bump out. Let's just do topic number 4. Let's send all the topics, and then we'll just take your live comments and questions for how long you guys want to go for. And topic number 4. With topic number 4, we're going to talk about. I know it comes out tomorrow. I know Loki season 2, episode 1 comes out tomorrow. I'm very stoked, but I thought that we could get even more excited for Loki season 2 because the other day, the first round of critics got to watch the first 4 episodes, I believe it was. The first 4 episodes of Loki Season 2. And they've come out with some of their first reactions. So I thought we could look at that and get even more excited for tomorrow night. So first of all, this is looking really good. Loki Season 2 so far is debuting with an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got 57 reviews so far. So that's not bad for a debut. I mean, as the reviews grow, that number is going to go down or up just a little bit. But I do think this is going to end up being a fresh move or a fresh series, which honestly makes me happy. And now the reviews aren't all counted yet. All the reviews have not come in, obviously, but I do want to point out that Loki Season 1 has an 88% on the Rotten Tomatoes score. This is at 84, a little bit lower, but still has a chance to grow or shrink. We'll see which one happens. And with that, we got some of our first reactions as well on Twitter. So let's see what some of these people are saying, what we can expect to get from the show that launches tomorrow. So we got Eric Davis here. He says, I love Loki Season 2. I've watched the first 4 episodes, and Loki continues to be my favorite MCU show. So that's something to point out with these reactions as well, as a lot of these reactions, a lot of people say that Loki was their favorite show to begin with. So if you didn't really drive with Loki, if Loki Season 1 didn't really work for you all that well, Season 2 might not work for you either. Just take that with a grain of salt. Anyways, he goes on to say, this season has a more frantic pace to it, which I find a very interesting use of words, frantic pace, because there was some moments in Loki Season 1 where it did slow down a little bit. So frantic pace, interesting. Which keeps the tension high and the entire time. Still brainy and weird with great chemistry among the cast. Kiwi Kwan is a big scene stealer of the show. Very excited to hear that. Kiwi Kwan, when he popped up in that trailer, that first trailer, I was like, you know what? That is the smartest marketing decision you ever could have done, is put Kiwi Kwan in this trailer. Because as soon as he popped up, I wanted to see it. We also got Daniel Batista in here. He's saying Loki Season 2 is stellar and a finely tuned tale that wastes no time getting back to the action. I've seen 4 episodes, and Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson are once again a perfect pair. I'm really looking forward to that as well, because Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston as Loki and Mobius were some of the best parts of Loki Season 1. One of my favorite parts of Loki Season 1 was honestly just when these two were sitting down and talking. I loved it. He also goes on to say, but it's Kiwi Kwan who delightfully steals the show. It may be Marvel's finest season of TV yet. Now, I want to take that with a grain of salt as well, because as these have already talked about, these people have only seen the first 4 episodes of Loki Season 4. And we all know that the general pattern, I mean, if you had given me the first 4 episodes of Secret Invasion, and I had just my reviews to go off of those first 4 episodes, I would have been very high on Secret Invasion. I would have been like, you guys got to watch this show, great performances, intriguing this, and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. But that finale, man, of Secret Invasion, whew, that finale was rough. And it totally tainted the rest of my experience with the show before it. So, yeah, they're loving Season 2 of Loki from these 4 episodes so far, but they haven't seen the final 2, and they haven't seen the finale. So definitely keep that in mind with these reactions. But, hey, at least the first 4 episodes sound like they're going to be amazing. Anyways, going off of that, we've got BD saying Loki Season 2 rules. The first 4 episodes have a thrilling time travel mystery and charm. Some of the TVA sci-fi jargon is hard to follow. That is something that I was worried about off of Loki Season 1, is the TVA do make the MCU, at least the MCU timeline and how time works in the MCU, very convoluted. and a little bit overly complicated, in my opinion. And so I'm hearing this guy say that the sci-fi jargon is a little hard to follow still in season 2. Makes me a little bit worried, but not that worried. The cast is tremendous together. The sets are great. Overall, it's awesome. Hoping episodes 5 and 6 stick the landing. Yeah, I think we all are, man. We also got Rob Keys in here saying, watch the first 4 out of the 6 episodes for Loki season 2, and I loved it. I didn't love the first season, and this is better, faster, and takes bigger swings. So that's okay. So this guy, he didn't. So a lot of these reactions that I've pulled, they loved the first season of Loki. They say it right off the bat. But this guy, he didn't love the first season, but he's even saying that season 2 is better. It sounds like he's kind of in the same ballpark as I am, where I really enjoyed season 1, but I didn't love it. So to hear that he thinks season 2 is even better actually gets me even more excited for tomorrow. Depending how they follow up the wild 4th episode, it might be the best Marvel Studios show on Disney Plus, and it's much needed. That's interesting. So apparently episode 4 gets pretty crazy. Gets pretty wild. All right, and I think this is our final reaction that we have. Yep, this is the final one that we have. So it says from Andy I'm sorry. I'm just going to say from Andy. I don't know how to say that last name. Haven't seen the first 4 episodes of Loki Season 2. Season 2 gets to be bigger, weirder, and more complex as we continue to build out the multiverse saga. Loki Season 2 also sticks to what I want as an MCU series to feel like, rather than just a movie split into X number of parts. Get ready, fam. Well, we have to also keep in mind he hasn't seen the finale, but that also makes me so happy to hear, because that was a big thing, especially with the first batch of MCU shows that came out. They did feel like they were just movies that were chopped up and put separately out into episodes. It's so nice to hear that that is not the case for this, according to Andy. And yeah, guys, I'm just getting very, very, very excited for Loki Season 2, especially after these reactions. These are very great reactions. Now, it doesn't mean that we're going to love the show. It doesn't mean that you're going to love it or I'm going to love it. Maybe we will. Hopefully we will. It's interesting that no one brings up Sylvie. I will say that. I was expecting, because I thought Sylvie in Loki Season 1 was actually a really big part of the show, and I thought that she really worked. I liked that actress too. I liked what she brought to the role. So to have no one mention Sylvie is kind of interesting to me. Maybe a little concerning as well, but the rest of this, I mean, the fact that some people are saying it's better than the first season. It's weirder. It's wackier. It's got some wild stuff that happens. Kiwi Kwan's in it, and he steals the show. Honestly, there's so much here to get excited about. Now, I will say, first reactions lately, I haven't been jiving with them as much as I usually have. The Flash had fantastic first reactions. I really liked the movie, but not to the degree that they had. As we mentioned earlier, The Creator, the first reactions to that, we're calling it a masterpiece and a classic and the best film of the year so far, and I did not feel that at all. So all of these people raving and going crazy over Loki Season 2 doesn't mean that I'm going to go crazy over it. Doesn't mean that it will be something to go crazy over, but it does fill me with glee just to have the MCU get some positive word of mouth once again. But what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of these reactions to Loki Season 2? Are you excited for this show? Did you not care at all for Season 1? Do you have that Blu-ray? Because if you do, I'm jealous. Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions, guys. And with that said, let's move on and just take your comments and questions for the rest of the night. However long you guys want to talk to me for is how long we'll go for. So let's pick off where we left off. And we got Dark Movies here, saying, you know what? I'll say it. The first time I watched the trailer for Loki Season 2, I didn't seem to like it. That video is still up on my TikTok, and I said that I was mixed. Well, man, that's the great thing about, being human and having new days and time to evolve is your thoughts evolve and your opinions change. And you might be feeling this way about a movie or a show, and then you watch it again down the line and something resonates and something clicks with you. So there's nothing wrong with that, man. And that's just a fun little time capsule now to look back on. Dark Movie says, but after watching it several times now, it looks good. And just Season 1 was the best MCU show. So you were into that. All right, man. You were into Season 1. I mean, I was into it too. I wouldn't say it was the best MCU show. My favorite show is still WandaVision, but it is my top 3. For me, it's WandaVision, Miss Marvel, and then Loki Season 1. Chillmonger says, paying money to get scared isn't for me either. Yeah, I mean, I get why people like it, the adrenaline rush and all that kind of stuff. I prefer just watching a horror movie at home with a friend or something. And I don't like the demonic stuff very much as a Christian. The stuff that like is really heavily about like Satan and the devil and demonic and stuff like that. That's just not my. I just don't like to watch that kind of stuff. You know, I don't want to. Why bring that into my mind? Why bring that into my household as a Christian? You know, so that's where I come from with that. But there's horror movies that are exceptions. I like a good horror movie from time to time. Like I love It Chapter 1. Quite recently, No One Will Save You really worked for me. I loved. I mean, maybe I didn't love, but I really liked No One Will Save You. And yeah, there's definitely been horror movies that have worked for me. But the last horror movie I ever saw in theaters, I couldn't tell you. It might be It Chapter 2. That might have been the last horror movie I ever saw in theaters. I can't think of another one recently that I've seen. If you guys can, let me know. I don't know if I've reviewed a horror movie on this channel. Michael 11591 says, ready for Loki Season 2 tomorrow? Getting ready, man. Those reactions are getting me pumped, so I hope so. Dark Movie says, I will also just say to the critics that I don't care and I will like it. You go, Dark. That's right. No one can hold you down. Hardcore Reviews says, the lack of buzz and hype for the second season of Loki is really concerning. Maybe it's because of the MCU fatigue people are feeling, but I don't know. Maybe the quality of the show wins people over. I mean, I've personally seen quite a bit of hype on Twitter, on my Twitter timeline, on my Twitter feed. I've seen a lot of people looking forward to this show. Definitely, though, not to the degree of when the first season came out or even when WandaVision was coming out. But, I mean, like I said, you can't really blame them because what was the last Disney Plus Marvel show that we had? Secret Invasion. That puts a damper on things, unfortunately. And Ms. Marvel, I thought was great. I loved it, but not many people watched it. Not many people cared to watch Ms. Marvel. And then I think before that was She-Hulk, and She-Hulk was divisive. So yeah, they need a win. They need a massive win in their Disney Plus show division. The Obathorian Alliance from Two Perspectives says, what's been your favorite TV show or movie that has been adapted from a book? Technically Jaws and Jurassic Park and Psycho. So Jaws, Jurassic Park, and Psycho are all in my top 5 favorite movies of all time, and they're all based or adapted from a book. So I'm gonna go with of the 3 of those, I'm gonna go with Jaws. Jaws is my favorite adaptation from a book, and short story, The Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, I'll go with those ones. And if you want like an outlier, kind of like a dark horse one, I really like Fault in Our Stars. I really do. I mean, that movie, it'll tear your heart out at the end for sure, but I haven't seen that movie in quite some time, but as a teenager, man, that movie tugged on my heartstrings. I thought that movie was fantastic. Travis Mitchell says, weird pick, but there's a scene in Hateful Eight where Tarantino uses the score from Exorcist 2, The Heretic, and I noticed it right away. Nice. I've only seen the Hateful Eight once. I really enjoyed it, but I would not have been able to tell you what scene that is or what music that was. I've also never seen The Exorcist 2. I've only seen the first one. Dark Movie says, I'm really bummed that the creator is flopping. I love the movie. It's not a masterpiece, but it was really amazing. If I will rank it, if I rank it in your ranking, I will say a strong... Oh, okay. If you ranked it in the way that I rank movies, you will give it a strong recommend or 4.65 out of stars. Nice, man. Yeah, I gave it a solid recommend. On my Letterboxd, it's 3.5 out of 5, I think. For me, I love stories and I love characters the most in movies. That's like my 2 number 1 things that I need a good story and I need great characters. And I felt like the creator, for me personally, lacked in that division. So that hurts a movie for me, like right off the bat. But yeah, I'm glad that you really enjoyed it, man. That's awesome. Dark Movie says Dumb Money was really amazing. Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about Dumb Money. I really do want to see it. I think my theater did get it. I feel like I saw the poster when I went to go see the creator. So I gotta get out and see that one because that looks really good. Dark Movie says, I need to see Paw Patrol just for the meme. I have no interest in that movie, but why not? Dude, I need you to see Paw Patrol so that I can see the skit you're going to put together for your Paw Patrol review. I want to see what you get, what you do in front of that green screen for that review, man. That sounds awesome. Michael 101591 says, probably didn't do great because they didn't market it right. Original movies bomb, yet remakes make a decent amount of money. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right, is that I agree with you. I don't think it was marketed the greatest. I don't think that they put that much behind their mark. I mean, at least from my perspective, I didn't see very many marketing campaigns for it unless I was in the movie theater and the trailer played. Other than that, yeah, remakes when you have a recognizable name and something already attached to people to what people love, they're gonna flock out and see it, and then they're gonna complain it's not original. Make more original stuff, and then they put out all this original stuff on streaming services and all this stuff in theaters, and no one goes to see it, and then they just end up on streaming services, and you're gonna lose original content. You're gonna get all that stuff going to streaming services if you don't go out to the theater, and then they're gonna complain that the theater doesn't have anything original anymore. Dark movies. I said it so many times in my live review. Go see this in theaters. Give it the money it needs. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, unless it has amazing legs, which I don't think this is a movie that is going to have that, it's not going to make its money back, unfortunately. I mean, $80 million, though, that's an impressive budget, especially for this movie, because this movie looked phenomenal. Like, if you had just showed me this movie, if you had shown me the creator, and I didn't know what the budget was, and I watched it, I probably would have guessed that it was at least $175 million to make, at least, maybe 250 at the most. But it looked great. It looked really good. Nathan Jenner Movie says the creator is one of my top 3 favorites of the year thus far. Oh wow, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I don't know where I would rank it because I really I liked it. I didn't really like it, but I liked it. It might be in my top 10 though, just because I haven't seen as many movies as a lot of other people have. I've seen 40 this year, and honestly, a lot of them have been mediocre to like kind of meh for me. So maybe the creator would pop into my top 10 on that reason alone. But I don't know. I'd have to sit down, make a list, and really look at it to figure out the answer to that. Dark Movie says it's my 9th of this year, but the only reason is that all the other movies are just 10 out of 10s. Well, hey guys, if you want to, put your top 10 down in the comments. Let's read them out. Let's see what you guys got. I would love to see what your top 10 of the years is so far. Nathan Jenner Movie says, how many movies have you seen this year? I've seen 50 films of 2023. I've seen 42, I believe. That's my letterbox. Let me check it really quickly. Let's meditate for a minute. I've seen 43. Okay. I've seen 43 movies this year. Luke Irvin says he's seen 95 movies this year so far. That's impressive, man. Luke Irvin goes on to say, I didn't love the creator. Too much influence shots from other movies that became a huge distraction, and I found the story pretty messy and incomplete. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree. I mean, I definitely, like I said in my review, I was definitely watching the movie, and I was like, oh, this is like District 9. Oh, this is like Blade Runner. Oh, this is like Avatar. Oh, this is like, there was a bunch of other sci-fi movies that were running through my brain that it totally took influence from, and just tropes and cliches as well. But yeah, it was the story was kind of messy. I agree. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Dark Movie says, yeah, it's only 4 episodes, but it's Loki. And then you got some great Zach emojis there, man. I love to see those emojis used, guys. It makes my heart smile. I mean, they only got 4 episodes to review. There's 6 episodes in total, so you can be happy about that. Nathan Drana Movie says, when I see Killers of the Flower Moon, it will have been the longest film I've seen in the theater. Yeah, that thing is 3.5 hours long, man. Oh man, that's a long movie. But I'm looking forward to it. I think the longest movie I've ever seen in theaters is Endgame. Endgame was 3 hours long, and I don't think I've ever sat longer than 3 hours in a movie theater. So you know what, Nathan, I'm with you on that. I think Killers of the Flower Moon is going to be the longest movie I've ever seen in theaters when I see that. That's crazy. The View with Drew, how would you guys rank the Disney Plus MCU shows? Let's see here. So, how many do you have? You've got Falcon and Winter Soldier, you got WandaVision, you've got Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, Hawkeye. Are we counting What If? Should we count What If? Okay, well, WandaVision's at the top, followed by Ms. Marvel, followed by Loki. I think I would go Falcon and Winter Soldier next. Then I would probably go maybe Hawkeye. Maybe I go Hawkeye next. Then I would go I'm still going to put Secret Invasion ahead of Moon Knight. So Secret Invasion, then Moon Knight. If we're going to count What If, then I'm going to go What If, and then I'm going to go She-Hulk at the bottom. She-Hulk it just didn't work for me. So there you go. That's how I would rank all 9. Dark Movie says I need those Blu-rays of the shows. I mean, they're coming slowly but surely. It appears. Luke Irvin says excited for Loki season 2. Me too, man. Me too. I hope it delivers. Dark Movie says hot take. Miss Marvel wasn't great. It's not bad. Just That's fair, man. That's fair. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I do think that the family dynamic and all this stuff with the with her culture and stuff worked better than the superhero stuff in that show, and the villains in that show were pretty weak, and kind of had a weird conclusion to that. But regardless, it charmed the socks off me. I loved the show, and I'm so excited to see Ms. Marvel coming on the Marvels on the big screen this year. Dark Movie says No One Will Save You was great. Yep. Dark Movie says Meg 2. Nah, I wouldn't say Meg 2 is a horror movie. If those even count. Yeah, I don't think I can say that Meg 2 is a horror movie I saw and reviewed in theaters. No, I don't think I've seen very many horror movies in theaters. It's just not me. It's not my thing. Kyle Graves live. What's going on, Kyle? Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Thanks for being here. Happy to have you. Loki was entertaining. I agree. I was very entertained by Loki season 1. Dark Movies says, oh, wow. Have I just watched your top 5 movies on my weekly watch show? Interesting. I think you have. Yeah, you've been doing these like watch alongs. And what did you do? You did Back to the Future. You did Jaws. I saw that you did Jaws. So if you did Jaws, if you did Back to the Future, if you did Jurassic Park, Empire Strikes Back, and Psycho, then you did all 5 of my top 5 movies of all time. Dark Movies in here. Yeah, I will say Back to the Future was amazing. Dude, you know it. You know that I'm on that board, man. You got that guy right there. Yeah, that guy right there. Love that movie. Favorite movie of all time. I know that you wouldn't say that it's your favorite movie of all time, but that's okay, man. I'm just glad that you loved it. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Dark Movie says, and Jaws was also really good. Yeah, man. I love Jaws. Kyle Graves Live says, Prey, the new Predator was okay. I loved Prey. I mean, that's fair. I respect your opinion for sure, and I can see where you're coming from, but I loved Prey. And Luke Irvin's in here as well saying he loved Prey, and he got the Steelbook this week. I'm jealous, Luke. I have no reason to be jealous because I could have gotten it myself. Well, it's kind of expensive, to be honest with you guys, but I'm looking forward. I'm going to eventually get that. I hope they don't run out of print. Because oh man, I want that so bad. I loved Prey. I love Prey so much. Nathan's Random Movies says, can you name some of the biggest surprises and disappointments of the years so far? Well, for me, I would say, going to Letterboxd real quick, I would say one of my biggest surprises has to be Dungeons and Dragons for sure. I think Dungeons and Dragons was a big surprise. Let me see what I got on my 2023 list. Let me see if there's I would say Missing was a surprise. I actually really liked Missing. Dungeons and Dragons for sure. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret was a bit of a surprise. I'll say Renfield for me. I know that not everyone loved Renfield. I know it's got a rotten score on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't really care. I loved Renfield. I had such a blast with that. That was a pretty big surprise. I would say those would be probably the biggest surprises. And as far as my biggest disappointments go, definitely Indiana Jones is in there. Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny was a huge disappointment for me. You know what? They cloned Tyrone. That's a pretty big surprise as well. That was actually really good. I would also say for disappointments, Peter Pan and Wendy, I didn't like it all, but I wasn't really looking forward to it. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was a disappointment for me. And Knock at the Cabin, I would also say for me was a disappointment. So there's a couple for you. Kyle Graves Live says, I'll have to watch The Creator. I do recommend it. I give The Creator a recommend. So if you can see it, man, yeah, definitely get your eyes on that. Sully Stream says, I share the same sentiment about The Creator, Zach. Such a bummer because I was super excited for it. Yeah, man, I know I watched your review. I felt bad watching you in your review, man. You could see the disappointment. But I will say that before I went to see The Creator, and I added your review to my watch list before I went to go watch it, I saw the title, The Creator 2023's Biggest Disappointment, and I wanted to find some way to add to the comment section the gif of Elf when he finds out that his dad's on the naughty list. Just, no! Like, I was just like, oh no, Sully was disappointed by the movie. I don't know how this is gonna go now. And unfortunately, I ended up kind of being in the same boat with you, man. Oh well, you can't win them all. Movie time minute. DJ, what's going on, man? I'm glad to see you in here. Thanks for joining us. I've seen 53 for this year, not counting rewatches of older movies. Yeah, I don't count rewatches of movies I've already seen. Yeah, I've 53, man. That's good. That's impressive. You're 10 ahead of me, so that's pretty cool. I'm 43. I haven't counted the TV shows yet. I'm gonna do. I plan anyways to do a ranking of everything I watched this year, just like I did last year. So I want to get the TV shows and the movies and everything all together. So I'm hoping, because last year, because the pandemic really affected my movie watching, I think I ended up having 53 titles that I ranked last year, and I was hoping to double that this year. So I'm hoping that I can have 100 movies and TV shows all together to rank at the end of this year, which would be a lot of work, but also would meet my goal. But we'll see. There's still a lot of movies and stuff to watch before we get there. So, movie time minute. I've also watched a lot of TV shows this year. Too many to count. I've been lacking on my TV shows. I'll say that. I haven't seen too many. I definitely have caught like all the. I never even finished The Mandalorian season 3. That's how disappointed I was with that show. That was a big disappointment for you. But I watched Ahsoka. I watched Only Murders in the Building, The Bear. Yeah, I'll have to go through and remember all the stuff I watched. Yeah, Spidey Zax. I love it. I love seeing these emojis, man. They were so much fun to put together, and they're so much fun to see used on the show. Thank you so much for using them, my beloved channel members. I appreciate you so much. Dark Movie says, here's his top 10 for the year. So number 10 is The Creator. Number 9 is Henry Sugar. I haven't even heard of that. What is that? 8 is Extraction 2. Still got to get on that. 7 is Creed 3. 6 is Guardians of the Galaxy 3. 5 is Talk to Me. 4 is Mission Impossible. Oh, I loved Mission Impossible. 3 is John Wick Chapter 4. Nice. 2 is Across the Spider-Verse. And number 1 is Oppenheimer. I'm looking forward to watching Oppenheimer, man. I'm looking forward to it. I got Barbie down. I watched Barbie. I just got to complete Oppenheimer now, and that's not coming out till November. Kyle Graves Live says, I just watched The Saint with Val Kilmer. That movie is tight. Never seen it. Thank you for putting that on my radar, man. I'll have to check that out. Dark Movies. I've watched 97 movies this year. Holy moly, dude. That's impressive. Nathan China Movie says Endgame was long, but Avatar The Way of Water was longer. Oh, good point. Avatar The Way of Water was longer than Endgame. Okay. So Avatar The Way of Water is probably the longest movie I've ever seen in theaters. All right. Thanks for correcting me there, man. Thanks for putting it back on my radar. Dark Movie says, yeah, Avatar was really long, but it was really good. I was surprised how much I liked Avatar Way of Water. I liked it a lot more than the first Avatar. I thought that they improved in almost every level of that movie. Luke Irvin says, my current top 10 is number 10, Oppenheimer. Number 9, Across the Spider-Verse. Number 8, Past Lives. I gotta watch Past Lives, man. Past Lives looks so good. Number 7, John Wick 4. Number 6, Gran Turismo. Nice. That was kind of a pleasant surprise as well, to be honest with you, Gran Turismo, because I had no not interest. I had that wasn't even on my radar before I watched it, and it ended up being really good. I believe we're on number 5 is Air. Number 4 is Dumb Money. Number 3 is Sam and Kate. I don't know what Sam and Kate is. Number 2 is Joyride, and number 1 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That is a solid top 10 list, man. That's awesome. Dark Movie says, honestly, I was a hater for the first Avatar, but the second one turned me over. I never hated it. I never hated the first Avatar, but I was always underwhelmed by it. I thought it was overhyped for sure. But I always thought it was decent. I never hated it. Dark Movie says, Prey was just almost perfect, at least for me, because I don't know. It was just an amazing time. I loved that they took the Predator franchise back to its basics. Just a girl in the woods with this predator hunting her. I thought it was excellent. The kills were so much fun. And, it was just a simply made Predator movie, and it was exactly what the franchise needed. Average Viewer Films. What's going on, Average Viewer Films? Thanks for being here tonight, man. I've seen 70 films this year, 54 being 2023. That's impressive, dude. That's awesome. Dark Movie says steelbooks are just so cool. I just got my steelbook for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 today, so that was really amazing. That's one of my favorite steelbooks of all time. That's awesome, dude. I only got the standard, Blu-ray, but the steelbook did look really nice. Dark Movie says Renfield was just an amazingly fun, bloody time. Completely agree, man. Dark Movie says They Clone Tyrone is something that I really need to see. Oh, you haven't seen it yet, dude? Yeah, I recommend They Clone Tyrone, man. That was a really fun. You want to talk about an original and probably I don't know, modern day classic sci-fi movie? I would say They Clone Tyrone is more of that than the creator is. Everything that they were saying, well, not everything. Like, I don't think They Clone Tyrone is a masterpiece, but I do think of the creator and of They Clone Tyrone, I got more originality out of They Clone Tyrone. Dark Movies is saying, what? Knock at the Cabin? Yeah, that's just me, man. I was underwhelmed by it. I didn't think it was great. You know? I have a review up. You can check out the full thoughts there if you want to. I forget all my thoughts about Knock at the Cabin, to be honest with you. That's what's so nice about doing reviews on YouTube about movies, is if I forget how I felt about a movie, I can just go watch my review and get reminded of my thoughts and opinions. Or see how they've changed. But yeah, I just remember being underwhelmed by Knock at the Cabin. Dark Movie says, same, honestly. Mando Season 3 was a disappointment, but it was some fun. I quit the last episode. I think I stopped watching after episode 5. I think episode 5 was the last one I watched. And with that, guys, it looks like we are all caught up on the comments and questions. So, yeah, Dark Movies, is that good? Fair, honestly. All right, man. So, yeah, we are going to call it a night there. That was our episode of Zach Milne Talks Live. I cannot thank you guys enough for being here with me. Thank you, everybody who contributed to the chat. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats. You have not only giving me fun stuff to talk about, but you supported the channel. You're helping this channel to grow. You're doing so many great things. Just by being here, just by commenting and engaging on this show, and I just truly, I'm starting to get a little bit sleepy, but I just truly appreciate all you guys for being here, all you guys' support. Kyle Graves Live is saying thanks for the top 10 list, Movie Gang. Yeah, guys, that was fun. Thank you for putting in your top 10s, and I enjoyed reading all of those. And yeah, guys, with that, I will let you guys also know that, as I mentioned, this coming up weekend is Canadian Thanksgiving, so we are going to actually be out of town for a lot of next week. So there will probably be no show next week. There probably won't be a lot of content coming out next week. I'm probably going to take most of that week off. I will have my Child's Play 3 for the Halloween movie commentaries coming out, which I apologize. They were supposed to start this week, and life has been so busy, and I just fell behind on the editing and all that stuff. But I got 2 of them ready to go. Child's Play 3 will be up next week, completing that trilogy. Super excited for that. Going to be a spooky, fun time. And with that, guys, I will say, have a great night, and I thank you all for being here. I won't see you next week, but I'm still going to do the outro. I will see you guys again when I see you. Same Zach time, same Zach channel.